As usual, time to check out the highlight from the Superbikes earlier in the day. Now, it was Damon Buckmaster who got away to a terrific start from position number 4 on the grid, which gave him, it was an inside run. He got away to a great start. His teammate, Marty Craggle, started from pole. Now, Ducati dealer team rider Craig Connell, and the guy who was leading the series up until the last round at Mallala, he's now 2 points adrift from his teammate Steve Martin. He got away to a good start too and slotted nicely into second spot.
Well, the qualifying was so close, wasn't it? There was 0.4 of a second covering the first 5 bikes. Not a big difference in performance between the Japanese and the Italian machines. And here's the Japanese machine out in front too. Damon Buckmaster on 46. He really cranked it up. Connell in second position, then a huge pack behind him in the opening laps. And look at how much speed Buckmaster was getting out of 46. The Kawasaki, very, very quick in a straight line.
Interesting thing about the Superbikes in this series this year is that there's a couple of guys that are a little bit cranky with themselves. One's Damon and also one is Mark Willis. They're very, very fast guys, very talented guys, but they've had some situations of bad luck, and they've had a few falls this year, a few too many that they would usually like, and that's put them down the series points a bit, whereas guys like Craig Connell and Steve Martin and also Marty Craggle have been more consistent. That's obviously why they're at the top of the points table.
Well, it really has. That consistency and speed really has helped the Ducati team. Steve Martin coming into this round leading the championship points with 124. His teammate Craig Connell just 2 points behind, and then Marty Craggle, last year's champion on the Kawasaki, on 110. So trying to hold this tremendous surge by the Ducati team, and the Kawasaki's very quickly. You saw that great move by Marty Craggle under brakes on Connell to take second position. So that made a Kawasaki 1-2 green machine at the front, the Ducati in third.
A couple of good vantage points. One of them is right there when they're on the Simcoe back straight. They come over and heading down into Yokohama Corner. You'll see the front wheel lift up there, and on the opposite side of the circuit, on the reverse side, when they're heading down into the basin into Kolb Corner, they lift up there. The Superbike's really spectacular here at Barbagallo. And the big thing here as we watch Marty Craggle ahead of Connell and try and reel in his teammate Damon Buckmaster. Buckmaster and Craggle had a massive crash in race 2 at Mallala. It was a mighty big one. Marty's bike caught fire. And Damon Buckmaster, as a result of the accident, has a broken bone in his foot, and it's so bad that Peter Doyle, Team Kawasaki Australian manager, had to help him on the bike this morning, Mark.
I know, I was watching that in the pits. Wasn't that amazing?
He's out leading.
If he stepped up, he couldn't even hold the bike up with the weight of the bike on his foot. Tremendous challenge up the inside here by Craggle. Hard under brakes. You could just see the way Buckmaster sliding in under brakes, maximum braking there, tremendous control. And he was feeling plenty of heat from his teammate as he really closed the gap on bike 46. The green machine running away with it, Connell dropping back. And these two really had a ding-dong.
While we're enjoying the action of the domestic Superbikes, of course, don't forget the World Superbike round tonight, coming to you straight after sports tonight from Germany. And of course, our own Troy Corser leads the way in terms of the championship at the moment, so let's hope Troy can hang in there. Damon Buckmaster hung in there very well, despite a big challenge coming from Marty Craggle.
It's funny, earlier in the weekend, Marty Craggle went for a ride in Darren Hossack's V8 supercar. And when he stepped out, he said, compared to a superbike around here, it's like driving in your sleep. I'll take any of the car guys on the back of my bike if they're game. So it's amazing because the Superbikes and the V8 supercars are very close in times around here. The Superbike, Marty Craggle qualified in a 56.3. And the touring cars running around the 57s or 58, so they're very, very close in pace. Yeah,
but the good thing about that, Mark, is that Peter Doyle from Kawasaki Australia said, well, got one of our bikes sitting in the garage if any of the touring car guys want to step on it, but they've received no offers as yet. This turned into a terrific battle as the race went on. Craggle really turned up the heat on Damon Buckmaster. And this is the position of the track, Kolb Corner, where Craggle got Connell, but he wasn't able to make any ground or any impact on Damon Buckmaster.
It's such an impressive machine, these Kawasaki's. The ZX7RR, latest development on the Superbike chain for the Japanese manufacturer. Pumping out about 165 horsepower. They rev the engines to over 14,000 RPM. And at tracks like Hockenheim in Germany and some of the very quick tracks, these bikes are capable of over 300 Ks.
Checkered flag came out, and the 25-year-old from Wyong in New South Wales, Damon Buckmaster, got the win. The crowd enjoyed it. Marty Craggley's Team Kawasaki Australia teammate in for second. Craig Connell third, ahead of his teammate on the Ducatis, in for third and fourth, and Sean Giles rounding out the top 5. Mark Willis back there in 6 position. Alistair Maxwell rounding out the top 10. Now here's Greg Murphy with a couple of interesting characters.